which is a startup in the cryptocurrency space. I'm going to be talking about BitShares and SmartCoins as an example of how to bridge the gap. And what do I mean by the gap? In the crypto economy today, crypto economy is fundamentally different from the traditional economy. It's quite incompatible, actually. So far, just to show a little bit about the scope of the crypto economy, this is the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies in existence. That means the value of the whole cryptocurrency market is $8 billion, which is nothing compared to the traditional economy. So it's still the small new kid on the block. No pun intended. So just to give an overview of the differences between crypto economy and the traditional economy, I put up some properties here. The crypto economy is, of course, much better, as you can see. We have open source code, open network, low barrier to entry, identification is optional, transparency is the norm. The regulation is done by incentives, so there's no need for law to make sure that the system works. And the control of the system is decentralized. Yeah, I'll have to keep this going a bit. So, yeah. So the difference here is you have a decentralized system and a centralized system, and how do you bridge this gap? Today, the solution is unsatisfactory. We have a centralized exchanges. So we have one part of the traditional system, which is the centralized system, but there is very weak regulation in the cryptocurrency exchange space. Like we saw with Mt. Gox, the people who had dollars in Mt. Gox, some of them got their money back, but the bitcoins, they were long gone. For those of you who don't know, Mt. Gox was in 2012, 2013, the biggest, absolutely biggest, and almost the only cryptocurrency exchange where you could buy and sell bitcoins. And it crashed, and 700,000 bitcoins were lost in that theft, basically. You can do the math. It was around $500 for a bitcoin at that time, so it quickly dropped. There was something called Gox dollars, Gox bitcoins, and they quickly dropped to $100 per bitcoin because people couldn't get them out of the exchange. So that's the problem we have today. What we propose is a hybrid solution where you have a network which is a mix of centralized and regulated parts and decentralized parts. So I'm not going to go too much into that, but that's basically how you have in a centralized exchange. You deposit your bitcoins, your litecoins, your dogecoins on one side. You deposit the dollars, euros, whatever in the other side, and everything is inside this box. This box is the trusted box. You have to trust whoever runs this exchange with your money. So naturally, and the markets, you just have to trust that what is happening in the market is what they say is happening. So you know nothing about it. All your money is on the whim of this guy who runs this exchange. So the decentralized exchange works differently. Here you marginalize the trust. You push the trust into the edges. So you have a gateway that deposits Bitcoin, and you have to trust this gateway with your Bitcoin. You have one gateway with Litecoin, and you have one gateway with US dollar, which can be a bank, for example. So there is regulation and trust in these assets, but then you can quickly go into the decentralized derivatives in the system, and these are called smart coins. This example that I'm showing here is BitShares, which we believe is going to be, it's the leading decentralized exchange. It's the platform that first came up with the idea of decentralized exchange, They coined the term decentralized autonomous organization, and that's why we are focusing on showing this. But there are others as well who accomplish more or less the same things. But smart coins are something particular to BitShares. Basically, trustless derivative. So it's a cryptocurrency that follows the price as a market price discovery, follows the price of dollar, gold, or whatever asset it follows. It can be oil, silver, or any fiat currency. And it's also, the derivative is backed. It's backed by real value in the native token of the network, which is BitShares. If you want to know more about this, we are holding a workshop here, just next door. So please come and talk to us there. We'll go more into detail. I have very little time here, so I'll just speed through. So BitShares, open finance platform. It has stake-voted funding, which means that the blockchain can fund itself instead of paying the miners, as in Bitcoin. Trusted developers and trusted people in the community can be paid to perform certain functions. Like we have SVK here, that's his nickname. He's developing the user interface for BitShares. He's standing right there. Say hi. So he's going to help us to give the presentation on how to create assets in BitShares later. And that's me, Spectral. I'm running as a witness, which is basically a transaction node, making sure that the transactions are processed as they should be. And that's also a trusted position. That's paid a little less. It's just to cover the expenses of the server, basically. Yeah. You also have dynamic account permissions, but I don't have time to go into it. So who are we, BitSpace? We are a service provider within the crypto community. So what we do is we provide knowledge. We help people to make investments and technically, and we do development work. So as far as knowledge goes, we are holding the workshop here right next door. We have a Bitcoin starter course next Saturday, which will go more into depth, help beginners get started in the cryptocurrency space. You'll get a little bit of Bitcoins included in the fee, and yeah, so there are tickets if you want. Come and talk to us in the other room there. We are also part of arranging UltraHack in Oslo, which will be part of the Oslo Innovation Week in October, where we're going to organize a fintech hackathon. So we're really looking forward to that. For investment, we can help people invest in platforms like Bitcoin and BitShares. We can help to invest in stocks and different tokens for apps in Ethereum, for example. And as far as development goes, we plan to launch a BitShares gateway, BitGate. You can check out updates on bitgate.no. Just sign up for updates. That will be a Norwegian kroner gateway into BitShares. Yeah, it's a system I showed you before where you have trusted gateways. We're also working on custom blockchains. We have one project going with a professor in the University of Oslo who wants to make a science coin, Independent Republic of Science, which I think is a really cool idea. And that's going to take a little bit longer, but we'll definitely see something like that happen. Here's a list of our partners: BitShares, Cryptonomics, which is the lead developer community of BitShares. It's a company. BitShares is decentralized, so different companies can be part of working with the core system. And Kultura Bank and WeShare and Oslo Bitcoin Meetup, they are helping us with the Bitcoin course next week. So please, if any of this sounds interesting, contact us. Come and talk to us in the workshop. That's it for me.